Welcome to Week 11 and the penultimate edition of the Davidson Football Coaches Corner, powered always by J.J. Wade and Associates. I'm Jack Benjamin and joined by Davidson head coach Scott Abell. And Coach, every week we have a busy show, and because the team continues to make records with this rushing attack on the ground, 789 yards, an FBS record, an FCS record. And to do it like you guys did on the road against a terrific opponent, the class of the league over really the better part of the last decade, how amazing was that to watch?
Well, it's certainly exciting for our guys and the program. And I'm really proud. I mean, to have that kind of output, to have that kind of effort on the road, that kind of trip against that kind of opponent really speaks volumes for how far we've come. And, it's certainly exciting for our future.
One thing to note with that rushing attack, too, is that there were 4 players who went over 150 yards. It's not just one guy. And we spoke about the Stetson game, not having your 2 top rushers and still being able to go over 500 yards. There's so many different options on this team. What ability does that afford you down the road?
Well, really what it does for us, it makes us very difficult to defend. I think it's one thing that really separates our rushing attack from so many is that we are committed to seeing all phases of our option game executed. And when that happens, defenses really have to account for you in the alley for your quarterback, in the pitch phase with your slots, and then certainly with our O-backs going downhill. And Saturday, we really got it all going. And, we'd used the bye week to really build what we call some secondary concepts, and those secondary concepts hit really big for us Saturday. And that's exciting to see. And, the one thing that probably is overlooked is that, we're a little thin Saturday. Story went out early. Okay, we're on the road, so we have a limited travel squad, right? So some guys that maybe were some impactful players the week before couldn't make the trip. And I thought that showed a little bit in the second half. I think had we been able to keep some guys' legs fresher, right? It's hard to tell what it would have looked like.
We talk about the resiliency of this group and what they've been able to accomplish. When you inherited this roster over the course of the past year and got ready for this season, you guys are now a game away from the first 500 season this program has had since 2007. Is this something you envisioned right away? What's enabled this roster specifically to be so successful?
Yeah, I think when we set out, I think the goal really that we talked about in our staff room was that, if we could envision a 6-5 year, we would think that would be a huge success. I mean, it's been a decade or longer since a winning season has laid hands on this program. So, and we thought we had the roster to do that. It was just, could we do the little things? In our world, the big things? Could you come together? Could you do the things that aren't about football? And they have, and I think we're much further along than I would have ever anticipated. I think our record is not indicative of who we are. If someone were to say, hey, what kind of football team are we? I think we're sitting at 5-5. I think we're an easy 7-3 team right now, maybe even 8-2 team. But that's the way football goes, and that's the way sports goes. And sometimes, you win those close games. Sometimes you don't. And I think the more we're in them, I say it a lot, the more we'll learn to win those. And I'm excited for that. And I'm not surprised where we are. I'm excited where we are. I knew we had some talented young men here, and I knew we had some great tools to work with, and I think that's showing up. And the things that have really shown up for us is that tight-knit unit and that consistency of, hey, we're going to be better. We want to be better. And that's just so much to build on as we move forward.
Going off this theme of the roster you inherited, Saturday, final chance to see these seniors play. Your first senior class you've been able to coach, of course, a game against Butler, a team that's lost 5 in a row. But first, going off this senior class specifically, what are they going to mean down the road? What have they meant to you in the program?
Well, when we started this, in your first year, you're never quite sure how the seniors are going to respond, right? They've played for another staff for their entire career, and so here they are. I think they were 30-some deep when they were recruited, and we're left with under 15 kids. And so they have built everything that we've asked. When they are the key that brought the brotherhood together, and they deserve so much credit. And I actually spoke to the team about that right after the game. That we're getting ready to embark on our senior week, and these seniors deserve the best senior week this program's seen in over a decade. And they deserve our best effort, our best focus, because they have sacrificed so much through their careers and through a lot of the bad times. And they've gotten to experience some good times this year, which I'm excited for. And they deserve the best as they go out.
Final thing, going off to the opponent, Butler, a team we mentioned has lost 5 in a row, but a terrific win early for them over Youngstown State. They have a lot of talent pieces, and again, a really good passing receiving game, a terrific receiver in Pace Temple, I think their all-time leading receiver in yardage. What's going to take in the secondary to slow him down, and just as a team in general, what's it going to take to get over that hump and get that first 500 season since 2007?
Yeah, defensively first, I think we showed some great signs last week, right, of taking a huge step. That first quarter and a half really it was as good of execution defensively we've had all year. And now we have to repeat that. We have to do it for longer. It's kind of where I thought, offensively we talked about that early in the year. We got to do it for longer. And so defensively, that was a great sign for us. And we lost Preston in the first half last week, and that I thought that slowed us down for a bit. And then I thought we recovered. So as you head into Butler, we have to be very mindful of where he is. But at the same time, we can't compromise everything else. And that's something that I think maybe we had done too much of through that midseason stretch, is that we maybe compromise some other parts of our defense, trying to maybe give some help where some help may have been needed, and that hurt us. And so, I think we'll really focus on ourselves and be who we are defensively, and to trust the guys we put on the field. And it's going to be a great matchup. They're a great opponent, and I'm excited to get on the field Saturday, ready to do this thing and finish year one up and do it right.
All right, well, Coach, thanks so much. It feels like yesterday we started these back in September, our final regular season one, and we'll do a wrap-up show as well, Coach. So always appreciate the time.
Thanks, Jack.
That'll do it for us on the Week 11 edition of the Davidson Football Coaches Corner. Make sure for the final time to come out to Richardson Stadium, 1 p.m. Get there early for Senior Day. 13 seniors getting honored. You can also catch the game online, davidsonwildcats.com. Also listen on radio. Mark Clemens with the call on the Davidson Radio Network and on the TuneIn Radio app. Always follow along the action on Twitter at DavidsonFB. For Coach Scott Abell, I'm Jack Benjamin. We'll see you one final time next week for the wrap-up show.